raise awareness or whatever, but like in hindsight, as in like, oh yeah, we knew about this. It's odd.
Her husband actually got up and left.
He had to. Alex Fine was told by the defense that he might be called as a witness. So when Cassie Ventura started talking about the alleged rape she said Sean Combs committed in 2018, that's when he had to leave. It couldn't have been comfortable anyway for him. But the defense had tried to raise questions about Cassie's recollection. At first she said it was September 2018. Then the defense pointed out how she changed the time frame to August of 2018. And then the defense suggested she made it up when her now husband, Alex Fine, found out that she was having a sexual night with Sean Combs because apparently Fine had FaceTimed her. She didn't answer the call. And later, when she was explaining what was going on with Sean Combs, she said, Sean Combs raped me. Now, of course, Cassie disputes. That, and prosecutors tried to clean that up on redirect, but saying that Cassie Ventura had no doubt that Sean Combs did indeed carry out that rape.
Aaron, you've been in court all week. Have there been any reactions from the jury that stood out to you?
Couple today. You know, the jury was very interested in the exchange over Cassie's recollection of the rape allegation. They were paying close attention there. They got a little bored in the middle of the day when cross-examination seemed a bit disjointed and meandering, no real one topic or one time frame. But then, toward the end, the jury got to hold some of the evidence. They got to see the money, the drugs, the baby oil that federal agents said they found in Sean Combs' hotel room in Midtown the night he was arrested.
Aaron, after Cassie got off the stand, 2 more witnesses were called. Who did we hear from?
So the federal agent who helped coordinate the search of Sean Combs' hotel room, she's the one that held up $9,000 in cash, kind of fanned it like a deck of cards for the jury to see. She also testified that there was ketamine and MDMA found in Combs' hotel room and other, well, kinds of supplies that Cassie Ventura said he would stock for freak offs. The night he was arrested in New York back in 2020.
I'll let it play out, whatever.
And then Dawn Richard, the member of Diddy Dirty Money and Danity Kane, she said she was a witness to Sean Combs attacking Cassie Ventura.
I'm just saying, I understand that they're attacking everything and trying to get them as motivated as they can, right? But, dude, these people participated in a lot of freak offs, did a lot of drugs. They participated. Took, and I would assume knew ahead of time what these freak offs would have. I just find it odd when after the fact, like, oh yeah, he had drugs, that's crazy. Oh wow, he brought drugs. Oh wait, brother, you guys did fucking drugs. You guys got high on K and fucking. Well, I'm just saying. It's. I understand why they do it for court, or whatever, and I get it, but learning some of these points, it's offloading all of it like that, and I feel like the jury, that can be annoying when it's found that, oh, because it's not really a lie, right? But when they say, yo, guys, can't believe it, man, this party is cocaine everywhere, fucking ketamine again, dude, fuck this shit, Molly, dude, not the fucking Molly, dude, It's like, oh, okay, this was the 9th freak off. What was happened before? Oh, the Molly and the cocaine. What happened before? The 8th one. Oh, the Molly and the cocaine. Okay, what about the second? Says that you said, yo, you got any Molly tonight, whatever. Okay, so you're saying that, oh, they brought cocaine, but does that mean that you participated in that and you wanted that? Oh yeah, it's also that. That kind of back and forth, I think, sways the jury in ways that they may lose a little bit of credibility. I mean, I'm just talking about in a jury perspective way. They lose credibility. It's what it is.
Aaron Kotursky for us there outside court in Lower Manhattan. Thank you so much for joining us.
The things you can take accountability for, you have to get money for it. I think it's important. If you say, yo, guys, listen, because the truth is, if something bad happened, that one thing, that's true. But the other thing, don't take away from that. Okay, let's say you did cocaine. Okay, you want to take Molly, you want to take some ketamine, whatever. That's cool and all. You take accountability for all the things that you did that you were willing to participate in, right? But the one thing that's not, yo, that's still true. Like, yeah, we did cocaine, but that still happened. Yes, and then that wins. That's a big win. Otherwise, the jury gets swayed back. They just, what they're saying is, it might give them a hint that, shit, these are kind of throwing them under the bus, whatever, for something that they partake of. I don't agree with it.
A week. Let's bring in
I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb.
Brian Buckmeyer, you were also there at court today. What do you think was the standout moment of the day?
So I think it was kind of hard to piece together what the standout moment was because as Aaron could.
Let's say, Chad, you're my best friend, okay? We go to the club every Thursday. We do Thursday C, which is Thursday cocaine blow, okay? And we get fucked up on cocaine, okay? And we always do that. But last night, me and you, chat, dude, you punched me. Dude, you punched me. Really, chat? You're gonna punch me, really? Why? I have to press charges. Okay, jury's there. Now we're in trial. You and me, because you punched me, you fucker, right? And I go, guys, so one a Thursday, okay, this fucking guy, chat, brought cocaine. Fucking cocaine. I can't believe this. Dude, the chat brought cocaine out of left field. Really, dude? Really? And then he punched me. Chat, really? You're gonna do that? Really? Okay, then the Cross says, oh, yo, you guys went partying on Thursday for 2 months straight. That's 8 times. Right. And they bought cocaine every time. Yeah. That one time, this text says, yo, dude, you got blow? What does that mean? Does that mean that you want cocaine? Yeah. Okay. So what happened there then? It seems like this is your thing to cocaine. So why are you acting like it's crazy when they bring cocaine? Yeah. It's just the jury will be defensive about that.
Tursky pointed out.
Can you blame them?
The cross-examination seemed to meander at times, and I think on top of that, never really got to land the plane for the point they were trying to make. But as I've been following this case, I thought the timeline was very interesting because we know certain facts about this case. Cassie Ventura, when she releases her album, of course, when Kim Potter, the mother of Sean Combs'
because
twin
if
daughters,
they say they were under the influence, the defense can argue the credibility of their account.
And you think that people that did freak-offs for months, you think that they're going to be, you really think the jury's going to buy that? Oh, freak-offs for years or whatever. And then they go, oh my God, ketamine? No. We've never seen that before. We've never seen, what is a ketamine? What is that? I've never seen that. What is that? Oh, come on, man. Fuck off.
When they had those children, when they broke up. And what's really important, I think, is near this end, because this is what the defense is trying to really hone in on, that all of this back and forth, the alleged rape, the consensual sex that she had after the alleged rape, when her now husband finds out about all of this, what the defense is trying to make a point of is the breakup between Cassie and Combs really happens just before Kim Potter dies. And we all know very publicly that Sean Combs comes out and says Kim Porter was his soulmate. And I think they're trying to make the argument that that's why this all broke up. Not because of the alleged rape, not because of the freak-offs, but because of this. Really trying to weave in this narrative of jealousy in this case.
They really were trying to kind of talk.
Wait, what? But that happened before, though. Huh? They broke up before, no? What?
Because of the argument that that's why this all broke before Kim Potter dies. And we all know very publicly that Sean Combs comes out and says Kim Porter was his soulmate. And I think they're trying to make the argument that that's why this all broke up. Not because of the alleged rape, not because
Something
of
is
the freak-off,
centered about
but because
rich
of this.
people
Really trying to
behaving
weave in
poorly.
this
You
narrative
start
of
manufacturing this bizarre ambling sophistry to defend the worst degenerate sold their soul bourgeois sexual immoralists. I literally couldn't tell what the point of your rant was.
Dude. Asking why the prosecution is doing bad isn't defending the defendant, you fucking dumbass. What the fuck is wrong with you? Dude, criticizing the fucking, the prosecution is like wanting them to win in a way. It's like, dude, there are some lot of things that I would probably assume some things did go wrong, whatever, right? And it's like, a lot of people have stories and there's so so much shit that I'm inclined to agree that something probably happened at one point. And if the prosecution is dog shit, they will lose. Then what? Oh no, you need to encourage them. Prosecution, you guys did good. Keep trying next time. One more lie, please, sir. One more lie.
D's?
Please,
Yeah,
prosecution, can we get
D's
more
nuts.
lies and
Golly
can you guys do it worse so that they can lose, they can win the... Yay, guy! Holy
jealousy
fucking
in
shit,
face.
your brain
They really
dead.
were
Oh my
trying to kind
god.
of talk about the jealousy, the infidelity, that pattern between the two of them. Chris Brown was mentioned today. Apparently, Combs accused her of dancing with him. She denied that. What was this all about?
So we heard a lot of celebrity names, like you're correct. Chris Brown being one of them, dancing with Cassie.
Yo, you need to go watch at least parts of the fucking trial with Young Thug. You should see how how the prosecution conducted themselves, how shitty their behavior is, and what the underhanded tactics that they used that end up happening. What? Their shit got fucked. Their holding got fucked. Tug is out, and honestly, he should be because the prosecution can suck my balls. That's why.
To Sean Combs, we also heard about her dating Kid Cudi for a point of time, and also talking about, of course, Alex Fine, who she was dating at the time, but had that consensual sexual encounter with Sean Combs while, and the defense pointed this out, while she got a call from him, and that was a very tense moment in
Elon
court
Musk to
because I think they're
defend the
trying to point out this
pipeline,
infidelity. Jealousy back and forth, and a lot of big names were mentioned in this case.
Also in court today, there was this heated argument between the attorneys.
Guys, you didn't pick up the call. It's not CLM.
I
Cassie's
say the same
testimony. What
thing
was
with
that all
Amber
about?
Heard and
interesting
Johnny
enough.
Depp. This is just a crazy take, brother.
Mr. Buff, you always, every day, rage bait. I know what you're doing, buddy. I know it. It has nothing to do with Amber Heard bullshit. The lady was fucking nuts. They tried this cocaine bit. They tried the same bit. Oh my god, cocaine. Why do you think a lot of the audience, a lot of people out there, which doesn't impact the case, but the jury, at least, why do you think that people were okay with those topics? Because he said, yeah, I was high on cocaine. I did cocaine. I went on a bender. Had a big bag of fucking Molly, and I swallowed the whole bag. Oh wow, 10 mega Mollies. Give me 11, please. Yeah, They said that he doesn't give a fuck. He takes drugs. What about it? He owed to that. Still, other things happened that connect with the jury. How hard is it to understand it?
If you watched us yesterday, we touched on this about the bit of the gamesmanship. And so it did get really heated for a while because at the end of the day, this case has been going on for a while, and the judge had said this cross-examination, redirect, all of that with Cassie Ventura
now
must
I know
end
the
by today.
XQC Mandingo freak-off tape release is inevitable. Chalk it.
Because she's 8 months pregnant and she has to go off and live her life and give birth. Well, the defense was really running out the clock, and I think in an attempt to try to get the last word there. But through some miracle, they're able to get all of the exhibits in. They did end early. There was a recross, redirect, recross, redirect. We went back and forth for a while. Ultimately, Cassie Ventura was off the stand. No issue of mistrial, which the government brought up. And then now we're continuing on the case.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer, we're going to have more with you in just a little bit. As Brian mentioned, Cassie Ventura is nearly 9 months pregnant, and there was some urgency to wrap up her testimony today because she's due any day now. I want to bring in ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel. Okay, so break this down for us. How urgent was it really for her to be done with this testimony?
I've never had freak-offs.
You know, Eva, there is an urgency to discuss a safe and healthy birth plan when someone is at 9 months. Generally speaking, if somebody is in a healthy pregnancy and everything is going okay, people can safely work up until their due date. This can obviously change depending on the situation. You also have to think about if a job is high risk and the long hours and the physical and mental toll it must take to sit in a courtroom all day long. This is why this is an important decision that has to be taken with an individual and a healthcare team for the safest option and to make sure there's enough of a buffer to prepare for that delivery.
And Cassie Ventura testified today that throughout her pregnancy, she's continued to take
speaking can be safe, and this is much conditions is so important.
This week has been extremely challenging, but also remarkably empowering and healing for me. I hope that my testimony has given strength and a voice to other survivors and can help others who have suffered to speak up and also heal from abuse and fear. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never forget.
I'm curious to hear both of your reactions to that, Bernarda.
She's a survivor. She's a survivor, and she's a survivor where you can actually, having done this for so many years as a prosecutor, when I prosecuted domestic violence and sexual assault cases, you see a lot of women that are broken.
My King XQCL was there at the
and those
freak-off
women that are
meet
broken,
slap
it takes
me
a lot of
wah, 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 wah.
courage and a buildup of their self-confidence to be able to, number one, say that they are a victim.
Put whatever you have in an Imgur, Alberta.
With the case. And it took a lot of courage for her to do that.
What
and
is
throughout
that,
these 4 days on that stand, you
I
saw a
might take a
woman that
file.
is clearly broken, but that has built herself up with therapy and rehabilitation to be able to sit forth and testify against Sean Combs, but also built her life up. And I think where we saw it even more of what she went through.
I think they're trying to gather society sympathy. Bro, do you think they're trying to garner society sympathy?
Is that towards the end of her questioning, when she was asked about the $20 million settlement,
So public sympathy doesn't really affect a case that much. It can sometimes, if, like in the case of Johnny Depp, in my opinion, dude, people forget, like, yes, judges are, like, straight up, right? And yeah, it's their court and all that. But there are some factors, some media pressure, some things being publicized and going viral, whatever, that kind of enters the loop. They'll deny it for sure, but it happens, and it's unfortunate it does, but it does. What's the AI photo, dude?
he would give it all back for her to be herself again.
Everything that Bernarda said, yes. Whenever I sit here, I am a person of two halves, I think. I think of as a person, I think of as an attorney, as a person. No one's questioning whether or not Cassie's a victim. That's period, right? And I think Bernard and I have seen enough cases as a former prosecutor and a former public defender where we can probably say this is probably one of the more extreme instances of abuse that we've seen in terms of injuries, in terms of her psychology, of how it impacted her, how she even talks about it now. You can still see she's working through it. As an attorney, I think the defense may try to use that statement in some way, in the same way they've used her past statements, that she is talking about abuse and not trafficking. I hope they don't go there. I can see a reason why they may go there. I think Cassie has done what she needs to do in terms of testifying in this case, and hopefully she can go be a mother, a wife, a person, and no longer a victim, and just move on from this.
Well, I was saying he wishes that they don't do that. I mean, is that more likely than not that they will do that though? I think that's how they've been trying to sway this. Like, yeah, even with the other case being settled, and the dollar amounts, whatever. They will say they probably it's a pattern, and that probably happened. And the other lawsuit kind of proves that, whatever. And they'll try to like solidify on that stance, no?
All right, let's get into what happened in court today. Brian.
I think this guy's kind of
What
yapping.
do you think the defense did?
Let's go, Brian. We were both there.
Bernard will ask because I try to be as polite as possible. I think that the defense is struggling. And I know that a lot of reporting both on ABC and other places have talked about meandering. I do not think it is meandering. I think that people who are not attorneys interpret it as meandering because what is happening is we saw a defense attorney who is not prepared. Either not prepared because she does not have the time to be familiar with this case. And I say that in the sense that we saw just like the rapid, how this team came together. You have to live and breathe a case like this for months, if not years, to really be able to fluidly move through the case. Or this person does not fully understand the rules of evidence to be able to ask a question in a way to land the plane,
started smiling
to
when
get
I
that
brought
answer
up
that
your
you
Diddy
want, that is
tape.
not
The memories of what happened to you those nights makes you smile. Nah, man.
objectionable by the judge or the government, or the answer is not objectionable. And we saw so many times getting closer and closer and closer to making the point, and then couldn't ask the question in a way that actually landed the plane and got you what you wanted, and it messed up. And that's a big thing for not only a cross-examination, but if you can't get that ammunition to make an argument at cross-examination, you're not going to have it on summation. And so we can already see there's going to be problems in this case for the defense going forward.
How do you think the prosecution did?
Well, the prosecution really just had to sit there and actually listen to the questions and actually object when they needed to object, and they did. And every time they objected, it threw off that defense attorney. So they did what they needed to do in order to, of course, with their direct examination, they were excellent. But again, this home court advantage when you're talking about direct examination, you know what to ask your witness because you've been prepping with your witness. But I think when they came back on redirect, they were also very strong. So when I stated before, when they started talking about asking her about the $20 million settlement, like, would you give all of that
the
back
one time
to have
not
not
rage baiting.
Oh God, here
This
comes.
sounds like some Amber Heard shit.
Oh,
I don't understand why
fuck.
women would wait years to decades to finally speak up when some arose. Not saying Diddy didn't do anything. He's 100% guilty. But she trying to get a bag.
Bro. Okay. Kind of true, but sometimes she already got a bag. She got 20 mil a bag. I think this is criminal. This is federal. So she can't. I don't think she can get that big of a bag. She already got 20 mil bag last time. I don't think it's a double dip. I mean, it could be, but
gone through this. I think they did an excellent job with redirecting and bringing the focus right back to, look, she was a victim. These freak-offs happen so often. There's no way that someone who endured having someone urinate on them, actually that was one of the redirect questions, that she wanted this. And I think strategically on one of the questions doing a redirect,
I mean, I would assume, I'm gonna make a wild assumption here and say that the mindset here is, I got the bag out of that whole like assaults, I think,